And me.
Well, here we are.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Hey. Cool. Hey, how about a 30-minute countdown? Whose genius idea was that?
Right? But, that allowed everybody an opportunity to, be ready for it and all that.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe next time we'll go a little shorter, though. 30 minutes was just a long time for folks to sit and wait. They've been waiting patiently, so that's cool. Very cool.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We haven't done a live video in forever.
It's been a long time, hasn't it?
So for those of you who don't know, I guess it's going this way at this point. This is the Chief Marketing Officer at Active Cell Protection, Neal Widener. He is kind of my right hand. Well, I guess actually Stephanie, his wife, is truly the one who runs the company, and then we just work for her. And so Neal is responsible for making sure that all of our sponsors are happy, and he also schedules our tour, which right now is kind of on hold.
Yeah, it's kind of been crazy. We've postponed and pushed back a lot of stuff, and so far we haven't really canceled anything, but there's a lot of stuff up in the air right now, and that's really, yeah, it's going to get crazy.
Yeah, I agree. So what are we going to talk about today?
So I have some topics, but first, if anybody wants to get their question answered or shout out, the sidebar, I know you've said this before in these things, John, but the comment section goes ballistic. And right now there's 350 some odd people watching. So it's difficult. So one of the things that you've asked in the past is if you want to shout out or really get your question answered, go hit the super chat, because then that highlights it. Do it 99 cents, $1.99, something like that. Although, hold on, I just got one of these things.
So super chat gets your question answered. That's the deal. Yep. If you donate on super chat, it gets your question answered. The comments come so fast, guys. There's no way that I can answer them, or even, they go so fast, it's hard to acknowledge them. But YouTube makes the super chat one stick. And so if you super chat, we will answer your question. Yep. We will shout you out. And we always I get it. And some creators, they use the super chat as a way to boost their revenue. And I think that's totally legit, but we generally don't do that. So we are going to donate all of the super chat to a charity. And we haven't figured out exactly which one yet, but we were talking about it backstage, and I was like, I don't know. What do you want to donate to? I don't know. What do you want to donate to? Everybody's hurting right now. So I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to gather up all of that, and we're going to help somebody who is in need. We're going to help a family who is out of work during this time with coronavirus. And I have a friend who is recovering right now who just really almost died of the coronavirus. And he's a martial arts instructor and has a fantastic, incredible pedigree, and has basically shut his school down for this. And so every bit that comes in for super chat today is going to go to that family to help them pay the bills during this very difficult time. Literally, he almost died of the coronavirus. So I'm really grateful he's on the mend, but he's out of work for the foreseeable future. So give a super chat. We'll answer your question, and we'll donate to good cause.
Yeah, so Chadley Hensley is already on the board at $10. So thank you. Question, Chad, but thank you so much. But yeah, back to this friend, and let's not name names here, but seeing pictures of this guy, this is probably one of the most fit people I know and mentally strong people I know. And talking to him and him saying just how mentally taxing it was. And what's he on, day 14, 15 now?
Something like that. I'm sorry, I look like a bum because I went and took my dog on a walk earlier, and man, I look like a bum. But whatever it is, guys, I'm not curated right now. We're live.
Oh man, yeah, I'm not taking my hat off.
Over. Well, that's because I'm, the real me. How about that?
There you go.
So we got a couple of topics that we want to talk about today. We want to respect everybody's time. We'd really like to do a 30-minute live stream and no more. And because we get it, everybody's got stuff to do. And the first one I want to talk about.
No. I get the first one. My daughter and her husband, my daughter Rebecca and her husband Levi, had their first baby yesterday, or the day before yesterday.
Congratulations, Becca and Levi.
I got to hang out with my grandson Malcolm Decker. Yeah, man, I got to get that. Malcolm, it's kind of a cool name. The second L is silent. Who knew? But yeah, what an awesome time. It was horrible, but I drove to the hospital. We couldn't even get in. because they won't let anybody in. So I stood outside. They were on the 3rd floor, and I took a selfie with him as my daughter held him up to the window like Simba style. But
it was,
but you know, and Cody was with me, but he was so frustrated that we couldn't get in, he wouldn't even get the picture with us. So, but my first selfie with my grandson was from 3 floors away. But what a great time!
Congrats, Grandpa. That's a big deal.
Thank you. And Grandma's pretty stoked about it too. So
yeah.
But anyway, so sorry to steal your thunder, but that was a big one that I couldn't.
Bigger deal, right? Bigger deal. Yep. Your grandson, Malcolm. Okay, so we had a comment from Florida Sheepdog 1 who said repeal red flag laws. Not a fan of red flag laws at all. I don't think they help make anybody safer. So I'm all about it. So let's talk first of all. We've got a couple of topics today. Number 1, our first giveaway, right?
Yes.
Let's see. List Gaming gave $2. Thank you so much for helping the hill for our friends. And said outdoor gun range, best way to hang a steel target. Okay. Ooh. I am going to say the best way to hang a target on an outdoor range is to get some new bolt targets because they're polymer. And they hang much easier than steel, and they swing like steel. You can shoot them from closer than you can for steel, and they hang easy. So I'd really recommend, honest to goodness, grab some new bolt. I really think it's amazing. Cade Magnum gave $5. Thank you, and said, "What do you think?" I'm gonna guess it says "think" instead of "thing" about competitive shooters with self-defense. When it comes time to shoot someone, shooting them fast and accurate is a good thing. So competition shooting is not defensive gunfighting, but every defensive gunfight is a competition. And so I think competitive shooting is awesome. I like to compete myself. I don't do it as often as I'd like, but I do get to do it, and I recommend it highly.
And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had another one from Ryan Ratner. Are you coming to South Florida on your tour? We are willing to come to South Florida. We are looking for a great host in South Florida. And Neal is the guy to talk to about that. So if you email neal@activeselfprotection.com and you say, hey, I want to host you guys in this neck of the woods, our end of the year is starting to fill up pretty good because we're moving early in the year tours into later in the year. Yep. But we'll talk about it. So definitely email Neal, Neil, @activeselfprotection.com.
Yep. So let's talk about the giveaway. We got something. Something kind of cool happened on the Extra channel. Active Self Protection Extra hit 100,000 fans. That's a silver play button. Is that
silver play button, baby? That's 2 channels with a silver play button. Super excited about that. So tell us about the giveaway, Neal.
So some of our sponsors have stepped up and said, hey, let's give some stuff away. So speaking of new bulb, they're going to give away a plate rack set.
Nice.
It's like $250 value kind of thing. And those are kind of cool. They're the plates that knock down. So all you need is a few 2x4s, and you can set that up and go to work there. Mantis has been our longest running and dare I say the biggest impact on my shooting sponsor that we've had. Is going to give away a couple of their Mantis X10s and maybe a Blackbeard. Austin is open to anything, so that's pretty cool. And then we've got a couple other sponsors that are like, yeah, we're going to do something. We just don't know what yet.
Understand. He's talking about giving away a Blackbeard. I don't have a Blackbeard yet.
I know.
So, like, you get one before I did probably, which is maybe hurtful, but that's okay.
I know some other people that'll get them before you too.
So remember, if you super chat, number 1, we'll shout you out or answer your question. And all the money is going today to benefit a friend who very nearly died of coronavirus. Carlos Cervantes gave $4.99 and said, hey, John, can you give a shout out to Orejas? Orejas. Okay, that's dangerous. I don't know if that's okay. My Spanish isn't good enough to know, but shout out to Orejas. Oh, now I got to go Google what that is. I might be like shouting out like
dog rectum or something. Yeah.
A shout out to ears. I don't understand what that is. Okay, shout out to Orejas. Maybe that's a thing I don't know about. Right. And thank you for donating and helping my friend who is in desperate need of help after almost dying of coronavirus. So very cool there. So the 100,000 subscriber giveaway, Neal, how are people going to enter?
Okay, so we're going to share a link here in just a sec. Steph's looking that up to share that. And
put it in the description too?
Yeah, we'll put it in there. But there'll be a Google Doc that you will go. And basically, it's an ASP scientific survey that shows how we party, basically. We want your best 7-word story that will make us laugh. And we're going to do something live like this. Probably we'll bring on Samuel and some of the other ASP staff. We're going to read these live here in probably a couple of weeks. The one that makes us laugh the most will get the prize. And that's how we're going to do
totally
it.
Unscientific, totally like arbitrary, capricious fashion. So don't expect anything. But if you make us laugh with your best 7-word story, we will give you some goodies. And again, Newbold is in there with some goodies. Mantis is in there with some goodies. We're shaking the tree for some other sponsors with some goodies. And we appreciate you guys very much. Okay, so go participate. Hit the link in the comments, link in the description to go be a part. Tori Soper gave $5. God bless you, Tori. I appreciate you, bro. This guy right here, Tori, is one of the hardest working guys in the Ask Dry Fire group. There's a shout out on Facebook to our Ask Dry Fire group. Tori is putting in work. And he asked, any advice for a new CCW instructor when all this COVID stuff blows over? And well, I mean, so Tori, I know, just went and got his certificates in order to be a firearms instructor. So congrats to that. You know, I really think that I started as a firearms instructor in 2011. And I think the biggest thing is a desire to help people. If you have an earnest desire to help people, then number one, you are going to really work on your own skills and work on continuing to be a learner and growing yourself, and therefore then be able to turn around and help students. And I know you're doing that, Tori. You're putting in the work. So props to you, bro. Okay, next one. Another comment from Shay Gooden. Best way to stage guns in a house on a budget and for quick access. Kids do live here. God bless. Shay, God bless you as well. And a good and thoughtful Good Friday to you and yours. Best way to stage guns in a house on a budget depends on the guns. Okay, so you can get a quick access safe on Amazon for like $25, $30. You could spend more than that, but that's for a handgun. If you're going to stage a long gun, it takes a little bit more, quite frankly. But even on Amazon, there are some decent residential security containers that will keep young children out without too much issue. Okay. I don't know if you can hear that, but my dogs are barking. Somebody must have knocked on my front door.
Moses.
And thankfully, my wife is out there taking care of things because I'm on YouTube Live. And if somebody walks through that door behind me and murders me, you all will see it live. So you can get some stuff on Amazon. It doesn't have to be expensive and can do okay. If you're going to do long guns, though, because they're generally bigger, it's going to cost more money. Okay. So we've talked about the giveaway, Neal. So that's awesome. Let's talk about the next thing on our agenda. But Tyrone Richards gave €2. I don't know what that's going to be in dollars. It's like what, $1.30 per euro. So it's like $2.60. Thank you. Binge watching all the vids. Love and stay safe, Tyrone. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate you very much. And your profile pic of a puppy and a kitten made me go, oh. So there you go. Okay, so we've talked about the giveaway. So go hit the link on the giveaway and be a part of it. Get some free swag. Make us laugh. That'll be awesome. Number 2, what's the next thing we're going to talk about, Neal?
So, the next thing I was going to talk about is we, because of everything that's going on in the world today, are going to do John's lessons learned from analyzing 25,000 gunfights live on YouTube here. We're gonna do it privately. We are going to try to charge a little bit for this because this is how we make a living. It's not going to be the same price that it is if you get to come and see him in person and all that, because we don't have to travel. So we get to do it a lot more reasonably because we get to sit in our houses and do this. But we did a test run with this with a group not too long ago, and it went pretty well. And so we've got tickets up on activeselfprotection.com, $9.99. We're going to run it 2 times. We're going to run it. Hold on, I got to look at my calendar here.
On Thursday night the 16th?
Yeah, 16th and the 29th. You buy one ticket and you can come to either or. We're going to cover the same stuff. It's the same videos and everything. It's an interactive thing, so there will probably be different questions. But buy one ticket, come to either or both. That way your schedule doesn't work.
There's a big thing here, right? So we travel all over the country, and I teach a signature series. We call it Lessons Learned from Analyzing 25,000 Gunfights. And we distill the over now, I think, 1,200 or 1,300 videos here on the main channel, plus the 500 or 600 from the Facebook page, into lessons learned from, what are the things that are most prevalent in defensive gunfights. And we're going to do that in a live environment, which is pretty legit. So come hit the link, $10. And I'll tell you this, if you're out of work and $10 is going to make a difference to you, send me an email. Okay. My email is john@activeselfprotection.com, and I will comp you a seat. If you're out of work and $10 is that big a deal, I don't want you to do without. So come and talk to me. Robert Young gave $30. Man, first of all, Wow.
Hey.
And he said, that's great. You're helping your friend. I'm on the front lines as a physician assistant treating some patients with the initial symptoms of COVID. Robert, thank you so much, my friend. Real hero work you're doing right there. Being out there every day and keeping people safe. And man, God bless you for helping my friends, please. That is amazing. Man,
hey,
just
before we go any further on that, don't email John about comping and seed. Email me, because he's just going to turn around and forward it to me anyway. So send it to Neal at Active Self-Protection, and I'll get you hooked up. So of course, I understand, this is our business, but we absolutely want to get people in this thing. Mm-hmm. If that is a hardship, then let me know. We'll talk. We'll get you in there, and life will be good. So
all right, I know we got a couple of more comments, right?
Yep.
Thank you again, Robert. God bless you, my friend. Stay safe and stay healthy. Use your PPE, bro. Okay, so we have another one here. We had St. Jimmy for the win. And I know I've seen you on the channel all the time, man. Gave $2 and said, thoughts on a good tack light for the eye pokes. And I don't know if you'll find that one on there, Neal, to put up on there. But we'll get to David D in a new minute, which is great. A new membership. But St. Jimmy for the win, a good tack light for the eye pokes. Totally depends on the budget that you have, bro. If you have a budget that was, say, 70 or 80 bucks, I would go with something like the Phoenix PD36 tack, which isn't a bad light for the money. If you had a budget that was a little higher, say 150 bucks, 180 bucks, I would go with a Surefire EDC L2T. It's a pretty darn good light. If budget is less important than effectiveness, I would go with a Mod Light OKW and get that Mod Light on Big Tech's Outdoors. Big Tech, Ike and his team are amazing. So now that one's stupid expensive. Got to be honest with you. I think I paid $360 for mine or something like that. So they're stupid, but man, when you see 69,000 candela going down range, that is like, you remember Indiana Jones and in the Raiders of the Lost Ark, when they opened the Ark and the guy's faces went like that. When you put that 69,000 candela on somebody, it changes things, which is pretty cool. All right, John gave $1.99. Thanks for helping my friends, John, and said, please repeat the name of those outdoor targets. New bold targets. So new bold targets is where you go. Just Google new bold targets. And David D became a channel member. Thank you, David. Welcome to the channel membership. I really appreciate it, man.
Speaking of challenges, I just talked with the new bold team just yesterday. They are shut down. They're actually located in New Jersey. It's crazy there. They can have one person in the office at a time, and so they're
and a mom and pop business.
It's a mom and pop business, yeah.
So guys, go order some new bold targets. They're great. They last forever, and they'll really help you. Okay. Extreme Living American gave $3 and gave a super sticker. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate you helping out my friends. A big thank you for that. So the online classes, right? Go register for the online class, $9.99, and we would love to have you. All right, Neal, let's talk about our third thing. We got about 12 minutes left, and we got to get out of here.
Right. Well, so, the third thing to talk about is, we're living in unprecedented times. This is a brave new world for some folks and a scary one for others. And so I kind of wanted to break down and talk. There's a million things we could talk about, but, as I sat down and kind of wrote out some notes to myself today as I was thinking through this and time to spend, we talk about spiritual fitness a fair amount on the channel. Talk through that a little bit. What's spiritual fitness mean now?
Well, of course, I think it's Good Friday, right? So it's a good time to talk about that. When we talk on the channel about spiritual fitness all the time, and I think it's doubly important in this time because spiritual fitness breeds emotional fitness. And spiritual fitness comes first and foremost, like just the same as we talk about attitude, then skills, then plan. We talk about spiritual fitness, then emotional fitness, then perceptual fitness, then mental fitness, and then physical fitness. Okay, so a big deal. And that's important. So when we talk about spiritual fitness here in these times that are tough, I think that number one, we talk about make sure that you've said everything you need to say to your loved ones. You don't know if you're going to get to see them again. You could get sick and die anytime. And I think that's brought it to heart. So make sure you've got all that. And it's Good Friday, guys. Make sure that your relationship with Jesus is strong. Jesus loves you so much and voluntarily laid his life down. If you want some more on spiritual fitness, if you go on Facebook, I actually have a public figure page. It is named John Correa. Crazy. And you can like that page. I just put up a short devotion today on that. Okay. And so I would encourage you to really practice spiritual fitness in this time with active self-protection and to recognize that spiritual fitness comes first, being right with your family, saying everything you need to say so that God forbid if it's your time and you were one of the fatalities from coronavirus, that they know you love them. and that you're right with Jesus and you and he have a strong relationship, because you might need it in that time. And I think especially on Good Friday, again, he voluntarily gave himself for us that we might live for him. So that's really important. Okay, we got another super chat, $5 from Lerone Irwin. So thank you so much for that $5. Really appreciate it. Says, true fan, most police officers I know don't wear their seatbelts. I kind of understand why. What are your thoughts on car carry? Okay, so those are multiple things in there. Car carry. I really strongly recommend that you leave the gun exactly where it is. So when I go get in the car, I put the gun in the holster and I leave it there. When I get up, the gun goes in the holster and then I leave it there. Now, I will tell you that I carry appendix. I carry AIWB. I know, Neal, you carry AIWB as well. Yep. Strong side, same thing, right? So you get in the car, click your seatbelt. Then I tend to like fluff my shirt around the seatbelt. So then that way it's not stuck, right? So that my shirt is still loose. So that if, God forbid, I got to get the gun out, I'm not fighting against my seatbelt. But I don't adjust where my seatbelt is. I don't ride my seatbelt up here or whatever. Nope, it stays right where it is over my hips, because the danger from a car wreck is bigger than the danger of carjacking. And it's perfectly safe to have your gun there. It's fine. So I just leave it right where it is. I don't like car holsters. I don't like any kind of glove, side things. Every time you handle your firearm administratively, there's a chance of negligent discharge. So just leave the gun in the holster. Okay, that's what I would really recommend.
And the worst thing about that, John, in my opinion, is at some point you got to put the gun back in the holster, and now you're sitting down. And we teach to holster up, to point that gun away from yourself to get it into the holster, and it's
very hard.
That's pretty much impossible inside a car. So
you can do it, but man, you got to really do some stuff.
And one of the more fun classes I took was a fantasy band camp tactical kind of thing one time, and we sat in cars and drew and shot and all of that kind of stuff. And we got out to reholster every time. Something that maybe doing your dry fire, go out to your garage and just practice drawing a couple of times with an unloaded gun and just see what it feels like. So you can get the feel for it down.
Blue gun would be even better,
Yep.
All right, let's talk about the next giver. Thank you so much. John gave $4.99. Thanks for the answer. Is it safe to shoot outdoors in your underwear? Depends on how suburban your environment is. How about that? And at your house, it's totally, okay. Neal goes out and shoots naked. I mean, it is what it is, right? Got to watch the hot brass dance. Right. But in a suburban environment, if I go out to shoot outdoors in my underwear, I'm going to have the local constabulary come and say hi. Joe Blow gave $2, and I've seen you on the channel a bunch, Joe. And Jonathan Storms gave $1. Thank you so much, man. Looks like a profile pic with maybe your son from football. My son played football for 4 years at his high school. I remember those days fondly, man. Next one, Joe Blow, I think, gave $2 and said, "Keep your mouth shut after a shoot?" ? There's some discussion here. Go over to the Active Self-Protection Extra channel. There's a whole series of John's briefs on police interactions with private citizens after a defensive shooting. Eric Koski, I'm going to stop on this one a minute. Eric gave $24.99 and said hello. Number one, I know Eric knows where this money is going to, and we love you, bro. And I'm going to get verklempt a minute here because I'm going to tell you, I'm just going to be real with you a second. Eric is a good friend. He's an incredible man. Last year, he lost his incredible wife, Ruth Marie, to not COVID-19, but to the flu, just the flu. Happened in a moment. And so he knows so well what this is. And Eric, I just want you to know that I pray for you at least several times a week, bro. And I love you. And I'm so grateful for you and for you processing your grief in our friendship. And man, just thank you for the reminder to love God and love people every day. I really appreciate it, man. All right. Christopher Reed said, John, I highly recommend a quick synopsis of becoming an official paying channel member. Right down here in the bottom, there's this thing that says join. You can become a channel member. And that supports us every month, and we really appreciate it. Okay. Rick Mitchell gave $5 and said, love your videos. I've learned so much from you. God bless you guys. Keep up the great work. Rick, thank you so much. Looks like you got a lovely family there in your profile pic, bro. God bless you. And Anita Tressler gave $5. Said, John, if you had to choose between a 6-shot 38 revolver or a Bersa Thunder for home, what would you pick? Number one, I would verify that there's a lot of questions here. It depends on the revolver, depends on the Bersa. I would verify that Bersa Thunder works very well. I have a Bersa Thunder 380 that actually runs like a stabbed rat. It is a good little gun. I would stoke that gun with Precision 1 380 with the Hornady FTX bullet in it and feel perfectly comfortable defending my home with it. A 6-shot 38 revolver, depends on which one. If it's a Smith & Wesson, one of the older ones especially, can be a fine gun, especially if it's rated for 38 plus P. Man, that's tough. I would make sure that Burst of Thunder really runs well. If it chokes at all on anything, I'd go with the 38. If the 38's giving you a hard time, where it's not a quality revolver like a Smith & Wesson, then I would go with the Bursa as long as it runs really well. Okay. Okay, so don't do this. It's a live stream. Says, would you be open to showing us your personal firearm you're carrying on you? No, because I can't do that on a live stream. I can't show myself handling firearms. You're trying to get me kicked off of YouTube, you poo-poo head. Let's see. SMN Trans, $20. Thanks for what you do. Thank you so much, man. And Gone Postal gave $9.99. Thank you so much for that as well.
I'm trying to get all of these up on the screen, but even these super chats are going by pretty quick. So if I miss you, I apologize. Steph's watching too.
Said, hi, y'all. Thank you. And again, guys, if you give on the super chat today, we're not keeping it. We're going to collate all that, and we're going to give all of the money to a friend of mine who darn near died from COVID-19, and he's out of work. He had to shut down his martial arts school, so we're going to give all that to him. Let's see. Steven Sri gave $5 and said, hey, guys, have a blessed Good Friday and happy Easter. He is risen. And Stephen, I would say he is risen indeed. That's amazing. So we've talked now, Neal, about the online classes. We've talked about mentality. We've talked to how to cope. What else you got, my friend?
So let's talk a little bit about
3.5 minutes.
Yeah, in the world that we're in now, we're going to hit 2 more topics. So if we go over here, I apologize. But in the world that we're living in now, there's different kinds of threats. Talk about those a little bit, John.
Yeah, the threats have changed probably a little bit because social distancing makes it okay for you to keep people 6 feet away from you right now, right? So before, people could get a lot closer. Now it's okay to say, hey, man, stay away from me or whatever. Your standards of using force are still the same, but it's okay to keep people away from you, and that's perfectly acceptable. At the same time, when you're out in public, covering your face is not only socially okay right now in the U.S., which is a first, but even recommended. So, I think that I have seen a couple of attackers use that so that they can't be identified later, and so that's something to be aware of. I think that what's waning right now, because there's fewer people out in public, more people staying home, so that your outside of the home attacks are less. But what I think we're starting to see is home invasions on the rise, number one, and watch that. Number two, I also think we need to be very cognizant of the fact that with families around each other like that, we're seeing a rise in domestic violence and we're seeing a rise in child abuse. And I just want to encourage people to, again, practice emotional fitness, spiritual fitness, and don't take that stuff out on your family, guys, and watch out for the people in your world. So I miss my peep. Says, hi, Steph. Keep up the great work. Sorry, I can't afford to donate. I'm hurting for money, but I greatly appreciate all the work you and your team do. In particular, said hi to Steph. She's not even on this live stream, and she's monitoring comments, and she still got a mention. What's up with that?
Well, and so that wasn't a super chat, but it had Steph on there. So hold on, I got one more here that I got to throw up here too.
Alexander, Neal, congrats, Grandpa.
Thanks, brother.
Super cool. So yeah, we do have some change in the way that things are going. I think it'll come back to normal pretty quick, but understand that what you're going to see is you're also going to see resource predation from people who get desperate. When they get desperate for money, you'll start seeing some folks. I've already seen it here in the Valley, a little bit of people getting attacked in grocery store parking lots, not for their wallet, but for their groceries. And that's a little crazy. So be very careful when you have valuable stuff like TP. And be very careful when you are coming and going. Just stay aware. Don't be paranoid. Be kind. Be generous. But be aware of your world and make sure you keep your tools on.
And Alex made me think of something too. Right now, less lethal is probably something that you really need to be considering, because a lot of the things that, I've witnessed stuff in rural South Dakota. Just people are on edge, and a little bit of a spicy treat will settle a lot of problems.
Yeah, a good OC spray can go a long way, and it'll go right through those masks, guys. Don't worry about the masks with OC spray. Bless the deserving with the jerk sauce, and it's fine. Scott Robinson gave $2 and asked thoughts on the Smith & Wesson SD9VE. I really think the SD9VE is a good firearm. It's actually not a bad little gun. I would put an Apex trigger in it, quite frankly, about $100 for an Apex trigger kit. makes that gun a perfectly acceptable gun. But as a budget gun, the trigger on that gun kind of sucks as a stock gun, but not a bad firearm. Certainly preferable to a lot of guns in that tier. Again, S. Swivels gave $4.99, said, haha, I apologize for asking. Wasn't trying to get you banned. I was not completely aware of YouTube's policy. Sorry, no problem, man. You can't, YouTube's policy now on live streams, you can't handle firearms. They won't allow it. So if you go over, though, on the Active Self-Protection Extra YouTube channel, you can see my everyday carry gun, and I'm in that. Anytime you see me on the range, you'll probably see me shooting it. Right now, I carry a HK P30 LEM that has been customized and upgraded by Gray Guns. It has a red dot on it. His name is Ben Bolio, and you will see Ben Bolio on the channel all the time. Neal, on the other hand, carries a VP9 and a delightful VP9. I believe you have a Gray Guns VP9.
It is yeah, it's nice. I love it. I've got a P30 as well that I'm considering switching over to, but that trigger on that VP9 is money. I love it.
It's delicious.
I really do love it. So.
All right, got a couple of other questions. Shane Anderson asked a question and asked, do you miss being a pastor? Well, you know, the reality is I get to do all the things that I like to do about pastoring still. I get to be in people's homes. On my public figure page today, I gave a short sermon, if you will, on Good Friday. I hated, at the end of things, running a 501c3 nonprofit. I hated doing a lot of those things, so I don't miss that at all. I do miss occasionally getting invited into the best and worst moments of people's lives, but I sure love what I'm doing now, and I still get to do that in really, significant places. Next one, Noah Boyd, Buck99. Would I collaborate with Donut Operator? I've never met Donut. He seems like a good dude. He's a good entertainer. And we tend to agree on a lot of stuff. And so would I mind? No, I wouldn't mind. You just have to reach out to me and we can make something happen. He's got a busy life on his own big channel. I think last I looked, I think his channel's got 1.4 million subs. So there's all that stuff. Ann Ortega gave $4.99. Thank you, Ann, for helping my friends. I appreciate that very much. I've watched every one of your videos more than once and learned something new every time I watch one. God bless you, Ann. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. We're really trying to help people all the time. James Ortiz gave $2.99. Shout out. Awesome orange generic profile pic, James. Well done. I really mean
well done.
That's pretty legit.
Okay, so last two things we've got to cover. I said there was already. We've got new gun owner stuff with the unprecedented times. Let's talk about what we've got going on new gun owner stuff.
Yeah. 5 million or so new gun owners for first-time gun owners in the panic in March. Starting to see that slow down. I'm talking to gun stores, and I think we're seeing that slow. But if you are a new gun owner, we have a new series on Active Self-Protection Extra, second YouTube channel called New Gun Owners Orientation. There are currently 6 of them live. We have at least 2 more that are filmed right now. Our goal is to go to 12 total. So then that way new gun owners are up to speed. We are talking to people like they're adults. We are keeping politics completely out of it. We're not talking about culture wars, gun stuff, not talking about any of that stuff. We're just talking about, okay, you've decided to own a firearm. Here's the best things that you need to go. So do me a favor, go over there to Ask Extra, sub if you would, and be a part of that channel. We just crossed 100,000 subscribers. And share those with the new gun owners in your life, because it's a real easy way for them. They don't even have to tell anybody they bought a gun. Like some people are like, I don't want to tell anybody about a gun. That's weird in my world or whatever, in my community. Then you can watch those on your own time and get competent with that new firearm that you bought. And then that competence will hopefully help you build confidence with it.
Well, and
so that's the big one.
And the Dry Fire group that we have on Facebook is a great place to go. There's people in this chat that Tori's one of them. These are people just practice a lot, and we videotape ourselves, put it up there. It's a private group, so you're not going to get any trouble. Nobody's going to know, but you can get advice, if you want to be quiet about it, if you want to go out there and post it all over, knock yourself out. But it's a great resource, and there are a ton of channels, a ton of other of our peers and our friends doing this as well. I would say that 95% of the information that's going out is great. The other 5, in my opinion,
we're losing you.
Is a little questionable. Oh, am I back?
You're back. I got you again.
All right, cool. So anyway, there's a lot of great stuff out there. So we got one more here. Hold on.
Jonathan Storms gave $5. What are your thoughts on a 22 pistol for self-defense in training? Love you guys. Watch all your videos. Thank you, Jonathan. Again, cool little profile pic with, my guess is, your son. If that was all I had available, then a 22 pistol might be okay. If I was going to do that, something like a Ruger Mark III or Mark IV or a a Smith & Wesson SR22, or I'm sorry, it's a Ruger SR22s can sometimes run. They tend to be really fickle with ammo though. And so if I was going to run a 22 for home defense, straight up, it would be a Ruger 1022. It would be their rifle instead. And I would run that with a Ruger approved magazine, make sure it runs really good, and run it with CCI mini mags ammo. A little Ruger 1022 with a red dot on it and mini mags, that's a formidable little beast. It's not quite a 223, but it ain't bad. As a pistol, if I had to, if that's all it's there, I mean, it's better than an Angry Stare for sure. It probably wouldn't be my first choice if you could step up. But some people are really recoil sensitive. And if they are that recoil sensitive, then that's the best they got. And I would be okay with it. I'd train them how to use it. Neal, what do you think?
I think that EZ 380 is very comparable to a 22 in recoil management, and you get a little bit more power too. If that's your option, if you have no other option than a 22, it's like you say, it's better than an Angry Stare.
Yeah, that's true.
For sure.
Amen to that.
And if you can use it and effectively, it's okay. I'm okay with that. So
yeah.
All right, John.
6 minutes over.
Yeah, we're 6 minutes over. Hey, what are you doing for fun right now, John?
Fun is a relative thing, man. I mean, my business is unchanged, so I've been working every day, it's a little bit of crazy stuff. What do I do for fun? Well, I walk my dog every day, and I love hanging out with my friends, and I love, honestly, probably my fun stuff right now. My hobbies include fine cigars and good whiskey. That's honestly my hobbies right now. And that's good. Grim Rider gave $2. Thank you for helping my friends. And it said, Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
He said, do you come to Tucson? I'd love to meet you. In fact, I'm going to be driving through Tucson tomorrow. I'm not going to stop because of social distancing. But yeah, I'm in Tucson not too irregularly. We were there teaching Tucson PD not too long ago. And I love your fine city. Yep, it's great.
Yep.
What were you going to ask?
Have you fired up your smoker yet?
Oh, yeah, I fire my smoker all the time. I mean, I love to smoke meat. So we actually have a third goofy YouTube channel called Completely Biased Food Reviews. It's actually Neal's son's channel.
Oh, man.
Cody is amazing. And you get over there, you'll fall in love with Cody. And he's amazing. But we do Completely Biased Food Reviews. We do some stuff with our smoker. And I've been smoking and sous vide. I mean, I love to cook. So I've been doing sous vide stuff and smoker stuff. In fact, I have some pulled pork that I'm doing in the sous vide for tomorrow night, Neal. It's going to be an interesting one.
I just got off the phone with the butcher over here a few miles away that's doing a pig for us, and we're going to have some fun with that. And there'll be some videos. Yep, there'll be some videos.
Ryan Ratner just gave $24.99. Thank you, Ryan, for supporting my friends. And he said, John, thank you for all you do. I've been watching your videos since my daughter's school, Stoneman Douglas, was attacked. Oh, my God, Ryan. And she lost friends and coaches. I've learned so much from watching you. Good luck, my friend, Ryan. I am so sorry, man, that you had to be there. I have another friend who he had children there at Stoneman Douglas as well. And my heart just breaks for that you had to go through that. I think it's a tragedy on the highest level. And thank you for the encouragement, my friend. God bless you. And if you don't mind, Ryan, I'm going to pray for you and for your kids tonight before bed. Oh, all right. Man, that was a heavy ending.
It was. Oh, man.
Serious, but good stuff. Guys, thank you so much for everybody who has supported my friends who, again, my good friend almost died of coronavirus and had to shut his martial arts school down, and they're hurting. So we're just going to donate all of the live streams here. I don't know how much it is altogether, but it looks like a few $100, and that will help them immensely. So thank you. I really appreciate you. And number one, sign up for the ASP X giveaway. Yep. Number two, come and join us in the next 2 weeks. We have 2 opportunities for the Lessons Learned from Analyzing 25,000 Gunfights seminar. Hit the link in the description, $9.99. Come and join us for that. Number 3, we do have live training coming up eventually when all this stuff comes down. Come and join us for that. Don't forget the national conference as well. And that's all I got, Neal.
All right. That's what I got. Play us off, keyboard cat. Everybody say thanks to Steph.
Thanks, Steph.
Sitting over there chilling out. So, all right, we're going to finish with one last shout out, John.
All right. Shay Gooden gave $2 at the end. Shay, thank you so much. God bless you. Appreciate you.
All right. You guys all take care.